Good morning. This is the Daily 5, how to survive and thrive in a time of crisis. I'm heading off to the studio, of course. I have decided to continue with my routine, suited and booted, of course, and heading into an office. It doesn't have many people, but again, really keeping my routine up. I went swimming yesterday. I'm just trying to make sure I keep doing all the things I would normally do pre-crisis, pre-lockdown, just to stay regimented and also to build something for the future. And that's kind of what I want to talk about today, because last night I spent 2 hours with a few hundred people from around the world. Now that would normally be a weird thing, but it's not, because I do that every Tuesday. And what I'm doing is I'm teaching people how to digitize their intellectual property. Now you might just say, Gesundheit, Brian, what did you just say? Digitize your intellectual property. It doesn't make sense. But this is what I've been doing for the past 4 years inside the London Real Academy. And it simply means this. Say right now you're a personal trainer, or say you're a lawyer, or say you're a doctor. You've built up all of this incredible knowledge in your mind about processes and protocols, about intuition, about knowing the right answer to a certain situation. And in the past, people paid you, oftentimes by the hour in the three occupations I just meant, for you to be present to exercise that intellectual property, usually on a one-on-one situation with a client, right? Are you with me so far? I go see you for an hour with a personal trainer. You teach me how to lift, you spot me, you encourage me, you counsel me, boom. I go to the lawyer, you tell me what to do about this business situation. I go to a doctor, it hurts here, don't do that, whatever they do. Okay, cool. And that was the old way of doing business. But for the past few years, I've been encouraging all of my students from around the world, we've graduated about 5,000 in about 110 countries, to digitize their intellectual property, which is this. Take your knowledge of personal training, take your knowledge of law, take your knowledge of medicine, of coffee, of human movement, you name it, of teaching math to 7-year-olds, as one of my students did that, and put it in a digital form so you can potentially distribute it to over 3 billion people in the world that are connected via the internet. So that means your customer base just went from whatever's around you in your city, which maybe is thousands of people, tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands, maybe, up to 3 billion. So new customers, new interests, new profits, new revenue streams. And that is the way of the future. I've seen this for a long time, and we've already seen a lot of people do that successfully. Now, in this time where we're social distancing, this becomes everything. Everything. And my students that have been working on this for the past few months and the past few years are actually, their business models are bulletproofed for this whole crisis right now, because they are still doing business. People are still learning, they're still buying their ideas. And if anything, they're actually going to be making more money with this whole process. And they'll be helping more people who themselves are stuck at home and necessarily can't go places and see people and do things. So this concept of digitizing your IP not only works in a time of crisis where social distancing is an issue, but it also just expands your customer base. And it means that I can help someone halfway around the world through a problem that I'm very specialized in knowing. Now, I'm walking by a bakery now. This is pure chance. Someone in here knows how to make this loaf, the most beautiful, tasty French piece of bread. That's intellectual property. I don't know how to do that. And my wife, Mariana, is a great cook, but she doesn't know how to do that. This person knows how to do that. That used to only be useful as long as this bread store is open. Now, what if that person could digitize everything they know about the process, how to get the oven ready, how to prepare the dough, how to make the yeast, how to do all that stuff, and can teach it in a digital form and sell it to people who now want to make French bread at home in this time of craziness? Do you see what I'm saying? They just took everything that they thought could only be used as a job in a certain location around people, and they put it out to the world in digitized IP. Here's something else when you digitize IP. You can actually sell this IP 24/7, literally, quote unquote, make money while you sleep, because now you don't have to physically be there. In fact, you can die, and your digitized IP continues to have value as an asset, just like Michael Jackson or the Beatles catalogs have value when they go, because that's their intellectual property. A song is a lot like a piece of intellectual property. They've put together a feeling, a vibration in this tune that makes you feel a certain way, and you can play it over and over again. That's a lot like what happens when you digitize your IP. You encapsulate that knowledge that solves someone's problem that they can play over and over and over again. And so this is something I highly recommend you look into doing right now, because a lot of people are stuck. They're worried about the futures of their business. A lot of people here on the high street don't know if anyone's going to come back to their businesses for 3 months. Why not find a way of taking all that knowledge you've built up over 20 years, 10 years, 5 years, and find a way to distribute it to other people who are on lockdown, who want to climb the learning curve, so when they come back, they'll be more effective. So I hope that made sense to you. You know, I've been talking about this for a long time. If you're a graduate of my Business Accelerator, you've been through this process. And I do this at London Real. All of my intellectual property is digitized in my London Real Academy. And that way, even if I get hit by a bus, you can go in there and learn how to start a podcast, how to learn how to publicly speak, how to start a business this way, or even how to accelerate your life. And that's what I do, and that's what you should really do. And I thought I would just stitch on the end of this video, just a quick video last night of me teaching my students remote. This is one of the ways you can deliver that IP. This is what we do in the academy. And look, I think now is the time to invest in yourself and expand, not contract. This is not the time for the pity party. This is not the time to live in fear and lick your wounds. This is the time to be proactive about getting that intellectual property digitized, so you'll have a bulletproof business for the future, so you'll have something to do in these times of madness, and when you get out, you'll be stronger as a business, as a person, etc. So I'll play this quick video of me last night teaching my class. I love teaching my students. It's so much fun. And look, wherever you are today, stay positive, okay? Stay positive. As we say in Britain, keep calm and carry on. They're the best at it, the British. And this too shall pass. Let's stay strong. Let's stay vigilant. Let's be safe. And let's love each other. All right, here you go. All right, what's up? It's Brian Rose from London Real. I'm at the world headquarters. And this is something that I do every Tuesday that not many people actually know about it. Most of you know me in the studio, in the leather chair with my guests in that place. But every Tuesday night, I teach in the London Real Academy, and I teach 2 courses back to back, 1 hour each, to hundreds of students from around the world. So I come in my office, I lock myself up in here with this guy, and I teach my students, and here they are. And this is just some of my many students all around the world. And what I'm teaching first is my Broadcast Yourself course, and then I'm teaching my Business Accelerator next. So these are people all over the world that are taking the ideas inside their head and creating digital products that can be sold to people via the internet. So you don't need a physical store to be there. You don't need an event. And the beautiful thing about everybody here is they're proceeding forward even in the times of coronavirus. So podcasts are still relevant. Digital businesses are still relevant. And some of these people actually have physical businesses. Some of them are failing right now, but they're taking their intellectual property and turning it into digital products that they can sell online. This is the new face of business for me for 2020 and beyond. And this is something I've been doing for 5 years inside London Real Academy. So I'm about to go live and talk to these people. They're in my earphones right now. And talk to them. Again, I've got people, I think in this course, in 27 different countries, in time zones all around the world. They come on and I teach live. This is module 3 of the Broadcast Yourself program. It's called Building Your Cutting Edge Platform. I've got the students I'm going to call on tonight and the advice I'm going to give them. And then after that, I'm about to go live here. So, and then they're going to put their first episode on iTunes here. Oh, hold on a second. What's everybody? Can you hear me? Can everyone hear me okay? Yes? Okay, sounds good. I'm taping all of you here just to show the incredible people around the world on this course. Throw some hands up and everything. Look at these incredible people. Some of them even London Real branded, like my man Jonathan. Joe Lanera in the house. What's up, Alistair Davis? What's up, Michael? I can see you. What's up, Francesca, Scott McDonald? What's up, Anthony? Of course, Christina in the house. All right, folks, this is it. We're getting our first episode on iTunes this week. This is Build Your Cutting Edge Platform. This is exciting stuff. I still remember when my first episode was up on iTunes, October 21st, I think 2011. And let me tell you one thing. It was awful. It was horrible. It didn't look good. It didn't sound good. I couldn't talk right. And guess what? Your first episode is going to be horrible too. And guess what? It's going to be okay. All right? Because it's going to be done and you're going to be on iTunes and every episode is going to get better and better and better. And that's what this is all about. We want to get you live on this platform so you can get better. Does that sound good for everybody? Yes? Okay. For some of you, it won't be horrible. I'm just I'm just saying. So this is Build Your Cutting Edge Platform. Today, I want to talk about everything we need to get up there, including your podcast name, microphone choices, the software we need. But the most important thing is you get on iTunes this week regardless. Version 1 is better than version none. And if I hadn't uploaded that first episode almost 9 years ago, I wouldn't have a new episode that you see now in 6-camera, multi-cam, high-definition video with world-class guests. It wouldn't happen unless I was up there originally. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Again, the Olympics are on this week. 100 points for gold, 75 for silver. And the prize is Ryan Holiday's Success Secrets. And it's the team with the highest percentage of iTunes channels live. That's it, folks. If I can't type into iTunes and see your podcast, you do not get gold this week. So make sure it's up there. iTunes can take 48 to 72 hours to get them live. So put them in early, ideally tonight. And I want to go through that whole thing. So right now, I'd love to talk to Felix, Michelle Foster, Alistair Davis, and Scott McDonald, please. So come on here and talk to me. And I'm saying goodbye to everybody. I got to teach. Bye.